If you've been feeling unusually tired lately, you're not alone. Fatigue is a frequent issue among older women, often dismissed as a natural part of aging. But is that really the case, or are there underlying causes that aren't being discussed? Today, I'll reveal the true reasons behind your persistent tiredness, and some might surprise you. Stay with me until the end, as this knowledge could transform your daily life. Also, share in the comments what drains your energy the most these days. I'd love to hear from you. Now, let's dive in. Part 1. Hormonal changes that often go unmentioned. Let's begin with something many of us experience but rarely link to our ongoing fatigue: hormonal shifts. And I'm not just referring to menopause. I'm talking about the period after menopause, when the hormones that once energized us diminish significantly. In our younger years, estrogen and progesterone weren't solely about menstruation and pregnancy. These hormones were our hidden allies, providing mental clarity, stabilizing our mood, and yes, boosting our energy. Estrogen, for instance, played a role in regulating glucose usage, our primary energy source. It kept our blood vessels flexible and our minds sharp. Progesterone, on the other hand, had a soothing effect, promoting deep sleep and a refreshed awakening. But now, our hormone levels have plummeted, making everything feel more challenging. Tasks that were once effortless, like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or focusing on a book, now seem like monumental efforts. You feel slower, heavier, and more easily fatigued. This isn't laziness or imagination. Your body is genuinely operating on less fuel. What frustrates me is that many doctors dismiss it as just aging. But why don't they explain how significantly this hormonal shift affects our energy? Some might benefit from bioidentical hormone therapy, or at least supplements to support adrenal health, yet most women aren't even informed of these options. So, if you're feeling worn out daily, don't ignore it. Consult your doctor about checking your hormone levels. There might be more happening than you're aware of, and knowledge is empowering, especially at our stage in life. Part 2. Unseen nutrient deficiencies. Now, let's discuss something I wish I'd known earlier: nutrient deficiencies. You might think, but I eat well. I thought the same. However, as we age, our bodies don't absorb nutrients as efficiently, regardless of diet quality. It starts with stomach acid, which aids in breaking down food and absorbing essential nutrients. By the time we reach our 60s and 70s, we produce much less of it, meaning vitamins and minerals like B12, iron, magnesium, and vitamin D often pass through our bodies without being utilized. Let's delve into a few of these. Vitamin B12 is crucial. It keeps your mind sharp and your energy levels high, but it becomes increasingly difficult to absorb after age 60. A deficiency in B12 can leave you feeling foggy, forgetful, and completely exhausted. Unfortunately, these early symptoms are frequently mistaken for aging or even early dementia, when they might just be due to a correctable deficiency. Iron is another important one. If you're feeling weak, short of breath, or experiencing a racing heart without any clear reason, low iron could be the issue. Even after menopause, women can still face challenges with iron levels, especially if they've had years of heavy periods or internal problems like ulcers. Vitamin D is also essential. Many of us don't get enough sunlight these days, and low vitamin D doesn't just affect your bones. It can sap your energy and even influence your mood, leading to a constant feeling of fatigue. Magnesium, though often overlooked, is vital for over 300 bodily functions, including muscle and nerve operations and energy production. A lack of magnesium can make you feel sluggish, tired, and achy. Stress depletes it even faster. The problem is, most doctors don't routinely check for these deficiencies. They might test your iron levels or glance at your vitamin D if you ask, but B12 and magnesium, not unless you insist. So, here's my suggestion. Get tested to find out where you're lacking. No matter how much effort you put in, you can't overcome a deficiency with willpower alone. Your body requires what it needs, and once you replenish those nutrients, you'll be amazed at how much more vibrant and alert you feel, more like yourself. Now, let's discuss sleep quality, not just the amount. We've been led to believe that being in bed for 8 hours is sufficient. If only that were true. If you're like me, you know there's a big difference between being in bed and actually getting restful sleep. Here's the truth. Sleep changes significantly as we age. Our bodies produce less melatonin, the hormone that helps us fall and stay asleep. We also spend less time in deep sleep, the stage where our bodies truly rest, repair, and recharge. What does this mean? It means you can lie in bed all night and still wake up feeling unrested. Sound familiar? You toss and turn, waking up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling. Your mind races with thoughts about bills, family, and health. And just like that, your energy for the day is gone before the sun even rises. If you're waking up stiff, sore, or groggy, it's a sign your sleep isn't doing its job. Your body isn't healing overnight as it once did. I personally experienced months of this. I assumed aging was the culprit, and I just had to accept it. But once I started making changes, like turning off screens an hour before sleep, keeping my room cool and dark, and even taking a bit of magnesium at night, things began to improve. Let me tell you, quality sleep is transformative at our age. It sharpens your mind, boosts your immune system, and gives you the energy to enjoy your day. Also, if you find yourself snoring or struggling to breathe at night, please get checked for sleep apnea. It's more common in older women than people realize and can seriously drain your energy. The key is not just to be in bed, but to focus on sleep quality. Establish a bedtime routine, just like you would for a child. You deserve that care. When you sleep well, everything else becomes easier. Now, let's talk about chronic stress and emotional fatigue. This one sneaked up on me. When we're younger, we're often in survival mode, raising kids, working, managing a household. We tell ourselves that once we retire or the kids are grown, we'll finally relax. But no one warns you that retirement and an empty house don't always bring peace. Instead, the stress just changes form. Suddenly, you're worrying about your health, your partner's health, or how long your savings will last. Maybe you're caring for an aging spouse or watching your adult children struggle, feeling powerless to help. This emotional burden can be just as exhausting, if not more so, than raising kids. Here's what happens. Your body can't distinguish between real danger and constant worry. So every time your mind drifts into stressful thoughts, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can exhaust your adrenal glands. That's why you wake up tired, stay tired, and feel like you're dragging through the day. Even small things can set you off, misplacing your keys, forgetting an appointment, or getting stuck in traffic. Your nerves are frayed, and you don't recover as quickly as you used to. Emotional exhaustion isn't just from stress. It can also come from loss, losing friends, family, or even your sense of purpose as life slows down. It all adds up. And guess what? Most doctors don't check for adrenal fatigue or chronic stress. They just advise you to take it easy. But how do you relax when your mind won't stop racing? This is your wake-up call. If you're constantly drained, it's not just age. It's your body crying out for rest, both physically and emotionally. It's time to protect your peace. Start saying no, set boundaries, and find outlets, whether it's walking, journaling, or simply sitting outside in the sun. You've carried the world on your shoulders long enough. You deserve to put some of it down. You've been carrying the weight of the world for too long. It's time to let some of it go. Part 5. Blood sugar fluctuations. You might not notice them until it's too late. This one really surprised me. Blood sugar fluctuations. I used to think they only mattered if you had diabetes. I was mistaken. As we get older, our bodies become more resistant to insulin, especially for women post-menopause. What does this mean? It means our bodies don't process carbs and sugars like they used to. Even without a diabetes diagnosis, your blood sugar could be spiking and crashing throughout the day, silently sapping your energy. Here's how it happens. You wake up, maybe skip breakfast or have something light, like toast or cereal. Your blood sugar spikes quickly and then crashes shortly after. Suddenly, you feel shaky, irritable, or like you could fall asleep right at the kitchen table. So, you grab a coffee or a snack, and the cycle repeats. The tricky part is, you might not always feel these crashes. Sometimes they manifest as brain fog, sudden mood swings, or that deep fatigue that hits you in the afternoon. For me, the realization came when I started checking my blood sugar levels out of curiosity. I was stunned. Even healthy meals were sending my blood sugar on a roller coaster, and each spike and crash was draining my energy for hours. The solution is simpler than you might think. Start your day with protein and healthy fats, not just carbs. Eat smaller, balanced meals throughout the day to prevent those crashes. And if possible, cut back on sugary snacks and white bread. I know it's tough, but your body will thank you. Once you stabilize your blood sugar, you'll feel like a new person. More stable, less shaky, and much less tired. Part 6. Medications that sap your energy. I saved this one for last because it's something many women don't suspect. The medications we take, ladies. By the time we reach our 60s or 70s, most of us are on at least 2 or 3 prescriptions, if not more. Blood pressure meds, statins, antidepressants, sleep aids, the list goes on. While these medications might be necessary, many come with an unwelcome side effect: fatigue. Let me give you some examples. Beta blockers for blood pressure can slow your heart rate, leaving you feeling sluggish and weak. Statins for cholesterol are known to cause muscle weakness and fatigue in some people. Antidepressants can dull your mood and energy. Sleep medications might help you fall asleep, but they often leave you feeling groggy and foggy the next day. And the worst part is, most doctors don't. They notice our energy waning and attribute it to getting older. But is it really? Or could it be the medication you've been on for years, slowly sapping your vitality? I'm not suggesting you stop taking your meds. Always consult your doctor first. What I am suggesting is a review. Have a conversation with your healthcare provider or pharmacist. Ask, is this making me feel exhausted? You might be surprised how often the answer is yes. There could be alternatives, lower doses, different medications, or lifestyle adjustments that lessen your reliance on certain drugs. Remember, you've worked hard all your life. You deserve to wake up feeling refreshed, not like you're dragging yourself through the day because of a prescription you never questioned. So, dear friends, it's not just in your mind, and it's certainly not just aging. There are genuine reasons why many of us feel constantly tired, and the good news is that most can be addressed or improved if you know where to look. If you found this helpful, share it with another amazing woman who might need this insight. And before you leave, consider signing up for my Savvy Senior newsletter, where I offer weekly tips that are practical, honest, and aimed at helping us thrive in these golden years. The link is below. Stay strong and savvy.